everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this episode of From Flat to Fabulous, we are going to work on this page. This is from Coco Wyo's Comfy Days book, and actually when I started coloring this page, I hated all the colors I put down. I don't know what happened that day. I was just like, I'm not liking any of this. But we're going to turn this page around and make some really cool things out of it. And so in this episode, we're going to work on this little frog and take him from flat, which he really does look like he's almost part of this fridge. He is so flat looking. And we're gonna make him pop off the page and come to life. And slowly but surely, maybe as I work on the different elements in this page over time, I might come to love this page too. So join me as we work on this little guy and we will make him pop off the page, and hopefully there's some new skills that you'll learn in this video that you can then apply to your own coloring pages. So I've got some Prismacolor colored pencils, and then I've also got some Ohuhu Halawa colored pencils, and we'll be using a combination of both on this page. And I think first I'm going to start with the main character, this little frog. So I'm going to start with a lighter colored green first. And this will allow me to create some depth and dimension without committing so much, whereas if I did a harsher, darker green, then I've already committed, and if I've got it wrong, then I for sure have to use my eraser over there. So I always like to start from light to dark with colored pencils. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I think for this one, I'm gonna have the light coming from this direction. So like the lightest part of the frog would be over here, and then the darkest would be over here. So another reason why I like to start with lighter colors first is because it allows you to blend the lighter colors into the darker colors, and it makes all of your shadows and all of your curves and edges just look way more interesting, and the colors just turn into new colors, and it just helps your page to pop when you're all said and done. So let's begin. We're gonna start adding some green here. And already I can tell I need to sharpen this, so let's do that. When I'm not traveling, this is the other pencil sharpener that I like to use. I know in previous videos I've showed my Fiskars portable one that has the flip. This is the Prismacolor official pencil sharpener, and it does a really great job. So when I'm at home, then this is usually the sharpener of choice. It doesn't really fit well in a bag, as you can see, so that's why I don't take it when I'm traveling. And I started without introducing the coloring buddy today. I'm so sorry. So for those of you who have seen previous videos, this is Fudgy. I did not name him. That is just the name that he came with. He is an adorable pals, and he's been packed for a while. If you don't know, we did move from South Carolina to Alabama, and he was in a box for quite some time, but now he's back out and happy, and he is going to sit with us today and enjoy coloring with us. We'll just set him there. And let's get back to working on bringing life to this kind of sad looking frog right now. He looks kind of sad, probably because he has no curves. So we're going to give him some curves and edges. And you can see in the matter of just a few seconds, he already looks like, whoa, he's starting to come to life. He's starting to inflate, and he's going to become 3D soon. So it doesn't take too much effort to get this effect, but it sure goes a long way when your page is all said and done, especially when you do this to all the elements on the page. So another nice thing with using a light colored pencil is you don't have to commit to where you want to put your shadows. You can just sort of test it out. Like when I started, I knew I wanted shadows in these areas and here, but I wasn't sure how far across his face do I want to bring those shadows. And so it's nice because as I'm doing this section, then I see, oh, okay, it makes sense to bring the shadow across here. But I wasn't thinking that when I was working over here. I was just doing this part first, and then my brain says, okay, I think you should probably add some shadow over here. So it's nice to just sort of let the page tell you sometimes, because let's face it, we'll come into a coloring page and we may not have all the answers, and then people will feel like, well, I can't color this. Well, don't ever feel that way. Just start with what you know and then let it build from there. And eventually you're going to get all the pieces colored the way you want them with the right shadows. Just do it piece by piece. Don't try to take the whole page on, because otherwise it's really easy to get overwhelmed, and then you start overthinking it and it just no longer becomes fun. And the whole point of this is for it to be fun and to just help you relax. And that's what we all need, is fun and being able to relax. So see, as I'm coming here, I realized, okay, his little hand would have a curve, so let me darken it a little bit here. But again, I wasn't thinking that when I was coloring this. So it all connects to each other. And when you let those things happen, you'll find that your page actually looks a lot more cohesive and more natural because you've just sort of let things fall into place as they should. And then as you're adding your shadows, if you see something you don't like, you can just get rid of it. Like, I'm not really sure that I like this spot on his forehead. Let's just leave that there for now, and then I'm gonna see if I still like it in a minute. Okay, I definitely don't like that. So this is where our Prismacolor Scholar Eraser comes in great. We can just simply run the eraser over that spot and remove the colored pencil. And I probably should have said this when I started. I started this page with alcohol markers and some water-based markers and then let them dry, and now I'm using colored pencil on top of them. So that's why there's already colors down. I prefer to start with marker layers first and then go from there with colored pencils and acrylic paint pens and all the fun tools to add my depth and dimension. Okay, so see, it erased that beautifully. And now I know I don't want colored pencil there, so I won't put it back. Okay, so now let's take the next color. I can't remember if I introduced this one. So that was an apple green PC912, and this one is dark green PC908. These are my two favorite greens. I use them in a lot of my coloring because they are like peanut butter and jelly. They go well together. So look at that, already he's starting to pop off the page. It's my favorite part when they start to come to life. Now you'll notice that I'm not coloring with the dark green all the way to the edge of where I had the lighter green. I don't want to destroy what I've done with the lighter green. I just want to amp it up by creating more contrast in my shadowy areas. And that's exactly how you do that, is you just add some contrast with a darker color, and then it'll help amp up your lighter colors and make them feel even lighter. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the lighter green and just blend a little bit, just help make that darker green feel like it belongs more. And then I'm going to go back with the darker green one more time and just darken just where the green meets the black edges of this little frog. And that just helps to push these curves back and pushes the rest of him forward, which is exactly what we're looking for. We want him to feel more 3D. Okay, so he is looking good, but he's got these cute little pink cheeks that look very flat. So let's give them some definition as well. So I'm gonna first start with this PC994. I believe it's called Process Red. It's my favorite, as you can tell, because it's getting pretty small. And we're just going to add in a little bit of fun colors to this little frog's rosy cheeks. I actually put the darker in the wrong spot, so let me erase. See, it's okay to make mistakes, especially with colored pencils, because you have an undo. So let's take that out, and we're gonna put the dark on this side. And then we're gonna take this magenta PC930. I think I wanna sharpen it just a tad before I do some detail work with it. We're gonna just run that along this edge. I'm gonna blend just a little bit more with this Process Red. And then last but not least, we'll take this black cherry and just run a very thin line right where the pink is meeting the black line. And just on this one side. Okay, so I think the frog is done. So now let's move to the little tea towel. And we're gonna use this Halawa dark cadmium yellow, number 125. This is from Ohuhu brand. And we're just gonna add some ideas of where we want to put some shading. And then let's use the saffron, number 22. And then I believe this is bright tangerine 122, but it could use a sharpening. Just gonna edge in some of the darker areas, just make them pop a little bit more. And then the last one is light red, number 34. And I'm just gonna add it right at the bottom. I don't want this everywhere. Although it's beautiful, blends nicely, I don't want it everywhere because then it's gonna take over this cute little dish towel. And then last but not least, we will work on these little plates. So I'm back to Prismacolor. I've got, ooh, I don't know that oh, wait a minute, are these warm? I got 2 warm grays. Yeah, we'll use warm gray, that's fine. So I have a 10% warm gray, which is a PC 1050, and a 20% warm gray, which is a PC 1051. Now with the plates, I don't really want a lot of shadowing and definition. I want to keep them pretty plain looking. Maybe when I work on this page again, I might add some detail, but for now, I'm just going to keep them pretty plain. And then let's use a darker gray and just add a little bit of definition to the edges. And then because the grays kind of ruin the black lines, I'm just taking this black PC 935 and cleaning up these black edges so that they go back to looking nice and crisp. This is of course not a step that you have to do. It's just a little pet peeve of mine on my own personal pages. I don't like seeing the black lines disappear from coloring pencils, but I also want to have the creative freedom to color with my coloring pencils. So this is my compromise. I just come back in and clean everything up and make it look nice and crisp like it was before. And the reason why I use a colored pencil to do this and not a marker is because the intensity of the black lines, depending on who printed it, if they were at the beginning of their print run for the day or the end, it's going to change the intensity of the black that's on the page. And sometimes the black markers, their pigment is just too intense and it stands out, and then it detracts from all the hard work that you just put into your page. But colored pencil, you can determine how hard you're going to press. So if it's light, you can just don't press really hard with your black and you should be okay. And if it was like the first book off the press, then, you know, you are definitely going to want to press a little bit harder with your colored pencil to make it show up. So I think that looks good. Compared to what he was before, he sure has come a long way. He's definitely got some nice depth and dimension, especially when you compare him to the little mouse and everything else on the page. He just goes, whoo, and he pops right off the page. So I hope you found this video helpful, and maybe you'll try some of these fun techniques on your pages and see that it's really not that hard. It's actually super fun, and it can really make your pages move in a style and direction that maybe you haven't explored before. If you like my videos, be sure to subscribe, give them a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.